Lindsey Graham is now coming out on stage, ladies and gentlemen, at the NRA Leadership Forum. Let's say hello to the senator and hear what he has to say.
That's all they're going to do. I want to thank the Democrats who support the Second Amendment. And they are a few. And folks, to get to 60 votes sometimes in the Senate, you're going to need a Democrat or two. On behalf of the Republican Party, thank you for being the anchor tenet of the Second Amendment. To Mike Huckabee, if I ever come visit you and your family, I come in peace, don't shoot. That's one tough preacher, isn't it? We've had brain surgeons, we have preachers, and now you got a lawyer. I guess we're heading in the wrong direction. What's the difference between a lawyer and a catfish? One's a bottom-dwelling, scum-sucking creature, and the other's a fish. If you can't take a joke, don't be a lawyer or get in politics. They asked us not long ago, somebody in Washington, how many guns do you own? Any gun owners here? One guy thought this was a retail association. He came to the wrong place. The bottom line is, I said about a dozen. I got to go back and actually count, but that's about right. But it's not how many you own, it's what you believe about the Second Amendment and how you conduct yourself. I've got 4 guns that really mean a lot to me. Does anybody have a gun that means a lot to you? Every one of them? Well, I got a .410 single-barrel shotgun that my dad gave me when I was 10 years old to go squirrel hunting with. It's the very first gun I've ever had in my life, and that gun means the world to me. I lost my dad when I was 22 and my mom when I was 21. She bought my college ring. I'm the first in my family to ever go to college. That ring means a lot to me. When I was a teenager, I woke up one Christmas morning and I had a 16-gauge, Sweet 16 Browning Belgium-made automatic. Yeah, that's what I said, woo. That gun means a lot to me. I have a Fox double-barrel 16-gauge shotgun that my grandfather gave to my father, who gave it to me. That gun means a lot to me. I've got an AR-15. That gun means a lot to me. And apparently to some of you. This August, I'm going to retire from the Air Force if I don't get court-martialed after 33 years. I do my reserve duty when I can in Iraq and Afghanistan. I've been there more times than I can count. But the unit I served with was in charge of detention operations for the prisoners we captured on the battlefield. A bunch of them in the unit decided to buy AR-15s at a discount, and we put the seal of the unit, Task Force 435, on that AR-15. That gun means a lot to me. You may not like the fact that I have these guns. You may disagree with the fact that I have these guns, but all I can say to you is I have a right to own these guns. I have a duty to be responsible with these guns. Do you agree with that also? With every right comes a responsibility. The next President of the United States, you will elect soon. The next time you vote for President, make sure they've at least run a lemonade stand. They're proud of their country in terms of being exceptional. And they know somebody who owns a gun. No matter who you pick on the Republican side, I think just almost without exception, your Second Amendment rights will be well protected. You can sleep good at night knowing the White House will be in the hands of somebody who gets where you're coming from, which would be a blessing. Many of you have probably lost sleep over the last 6 years. But thanks to the NRA, Republicans and Democrats, we beat back, I think, the most aggressive gun control agenda in the history of the country. And I'm proud to say that without the NRA, we would not be able to do it. You really do matter, folks. But I want to change topics now. The next President of the United States needs not only be able to defend the Second Amendment, but defend this nation. The next time you vote, make sure you're voting for somebody that knows what the hell they're doing when it comes to being Commander-in-Chief. If you would, if you have served in the military, active, retired, Guard, or Reserve, would you please stand up? Thank you all so very, very much. I have never been more worried than I am today about an attack on our homeland. President Obama's foreign policy is falling apart before our eyes. He is weak, indecisive, he is incompetent, our friends are afraid and our enemies are emboldened, and if it doesn't change soon, we're all going to regret it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're in a war. This is not a time of peace. The officer who spoke before me killed a homegrown terrorist. There are more terrorist organizations with more capability, with more weapons, with more desire, and more safe havens to attack this country than any time before 9/11 as a result of leading from behind. When America leads from behind, the world falls apart, and we need to stop this and stop it now. So, friends in Israel, you are not the problem. I proudly stand with the state of Israel. A lot of us are thinking about running for president. Here's one thing I can tell you I think about a lot. Taking care of the 1% who've been doing the fighting for the last 14 years. The veteran. Missed a lot of holidays, a lot of birthdays. Some have come back in boxes, have come back broken. All have come back affected by this long, hard war. But to the enemies of this nation, the military is not war weary. They are coming after you. Ladies and gentlemen, my goal is to keep the war over there so it never comes back here again. My goal is to make sure that we go after those bastards that are trying to kill us and everybody like us, and make sure that they feel the wrath of this country, that we dig them out and we kill them, because there is no other substitute. We're at war. We're at war with radical Islam. We're at war with people who hate us, who hate the idea that we would worship God differently than they would. We're at war with people who are crucifying young children, who are raping and selling women into bondage, who are putting people on fire. We're at war with some of the most hateful, despicable people, and we will win and they will lose. I do not know how to defend this nation without some of us being willing to go over there and fight and die. Freedom is not free. This country has been free for a couple of hundred years because some of us have been willing to fight and die for their freedom. There is no substitute. Radical Islam is something that can't be appeased. You could give them could close Gitmo and Palestinians everything they want, and they still would be coming after you. You know why they come
All right, ladies and gentlemen,
you?
we're having some technical difficulty with the sound at the end of Lindsey Graham's speech. I apologize. We're going to go to a news break now for your Newsmax Now update, and then we'll come back. We believe we still have some big names such as Donald Trump on the docket here. We'll try to get it all to you as we continue our live coverage of the NRA's Leadership Forum from Nashville, Tennessee, right here on Newsmax Television. Now your Newsmax Now update.